Hello, good evening, and good afternoon. Hello, good evening, and good afternoon. Hello, good evening, and good
Elizabeth,
Yes, Musa.
yang echo. Anyway,
Okay. Is it better
yeah,
now?
yeah, you better now. You coming fine.
Okay. Good evening, good afternoon, wherever you're watching us from. This is your Pdois platform, and my name is Elizabeth. Coming to you with a program that we wanting to call Sunday Special or Pdois Sunday Special. In this program, we would be talking about issues that relate to the party and the party's policies and programs, gearing up to the election that's coming up in December. So it's a pleasure to be here with you. Sorry, we're a little bit late on time because we were having technical difficulties, as you might have seen. But hopefully, we'll be able to figure that out. Pastor John is supposed to be our guest today from the Gambia. We're having issues with him as well, with the network, one of the issues that was keeping us from starting on time. See, he's trying to join us, but we're fingers crossed. Hopefully, he'll be able to sort the internet issue and be with us in this program. Like I said, this is going to be called the Doi Sunday Special, and we hope to be coming to you every Sunday to talk about issues and to be discussing the policies of Doi, and hopefully we'll be able to reach your hearts and minds, where we are praying that the message of Doi will resonate with every listener, every Gambian, so that come December, would have won the hearts and minds of many more. We're already winning hearts and minds, and hopefully we will be winning more hearts and minds that will be willing to go out there and share the message with our family members and friends. That way, we'll be able to put the party that we think Gambia deserves, which is Doi, in leadership come December the 4th. In today's program, the topic we're discussing is give to Caesar what belongs to Caesar and to God what belongs to God. In other words, give to politics what belongs to politics. And I particularly chose this topic because for some reason, when I talk to certain people about joining the party or registering to vote or going out there and belonging, actively participating in the DOI programs, certain people, especially from the Christian community, are very much laid back, and they're just like, oh, it's okay, it's fine, we may join, or, not very actively involved in politics. And I think that is something that we need to overcome, because this is not just an issue of voting to put somebody in power. I particularly think that politics is so important, and I see it from an angle where I think it is a matter of life and death. Some will say, oh, that's too extreme, Elizabeth, but allow me time to explain, because that putting the right people in power will determine to a great extent how much our healthcare is improved. And without good healthcare, of course, where do we end? It's an issue of life and death. And so when I talk about this and I think about the young women, young people out there who are losing their lives, especially women, when they're giving birth, we see the maternal mortality rate in the Gambia. I don't even know what the figure is, but you don't have to know the statistics to understand that there's so many women dying because of poor health care. So you see, it's very important that we put in place politicians or somebody who will invest in the health system. Otherwise, the next victim could be you. The next victim could be your sister, your mother, my auntie, my uncle. So that is why I say it is important for us to be actively involved in politics, to be actively involved in this voter registration process, to go out there and get our voters card and be ready to vote come December. And you don't have to look very far. Pdois is here, and Pdois has proven to us that they have what it takes to take us there. And so, I mean, I see Pastor John join us. Pastor John, can you hear us? Pastor John, can you hear me? I think we're still having the same issue with Pastor John. He's having network issues. But like I said, it is very important that we involve ourselves in politics and we determine our future. We determine our future. I'm trying to read Pastor John's message here, but yeah, okay, a little bit distracted. But yeah, it's very important that we determine who comes to power. And so these elections should mean a lot to each and every one of us. And like I said, Pdois as a political party has proven to us that they have what it takes when they come in leadership to give us what we need as a people to move to the next level. Hello, Pastor John, can you hear me? Okay, we're still having issues with Pastor John there. So one of the things that I picked up when I was, preparing for this program is, Pastor John, are you there?
Loud and clear.
Oh, good. You can hear me? Hello, Pastor John. Pastor John, can you hear me?
Loud and clear. Can you?
You're breaking up a little bit, but you go ahead and hello? Okay. We're still having issues there with Pastor John. Pastor John is a pastor of Christian Missionary Fellowship. I wanted to bring in Pastor John to hear from him what the church is doing, on how the church should be more involved in getting our people out there to register and vote. Because, I mean, this program is for everybody, but particularly Christians, because I have a feeling that we are lacking when it comes to involvement in politics. And we need to be very much aware that that is not an option that we can afford.
Hello, Elizabeth.
Hello, Pastor John.
Can you hear me?
Yes, much better now. I'll have you introduce yourself to our audience. If you're hearing me, Pastor John, can you introduce yourself? Well, that's one thing that needs to be solved in the Gambia, poor internet. So bring in a Doi government and it will be history for us, because I believe that with a Doi government, you will not have to deal with, such craziness when it comes to the internet. So like I was saying, it is very important that we go out there and get our voter registration cards, get ready, encourage our family members and our loved ones to get their voter registration cards, and try to educate them to understand what the DOI message is and why DOI is the party to be voted in power. DOI has successfully brought us a change in regime that we yearned for, we prayed for, we wanted so bad. With the help of the DOI leadership, we have seen how, as the brainchild of the coalition, how they have ushered in New Gambia, quote and unquote. But we have to move from where we are now to a complete system change that DOI is calling for. And so we have this opportunity now to put DOI in power to complete that which they started in 2016. So our voters' card is our power. DOI talks about our sovereign, how we are sovereign citizens, that the power resides in us, the people. We choose who we want to be there, and we decide who we do not want to be in power. And so if we do not take our time to go out there and get our voters' cards and get ready to vote in power, a party like DOI, we only have ourselves to blame when we continue to see our brothers and our sisters die in the hospitals of childbirth, when we continue to see our family members die of untimely death, we continue to see our people die in poverty, in want, in need. We have nobody but ourselves to blame if we continue to put people in power who do not have the best interest of the Gambia. DOI has shown us time and again that what it takes to change the trajectory of this country, they have. DOI knows the problem of the Gambia. If you look at the documents, the policies and programs of DOI, you will clearly see that this is a party that understands what the problem of the core problem is in the country. So this is a call for us all to go out there and make the change that we deserve as a people. We deserve better than what we are getting right now. We deserve better than what we see in government today. And so I have my guest, Pastor John is back. Can you hear me, Pastor John? Hello, Pastor John, can you hear me? Pastor John, can you hear me? I don't think Pastor John is hearing me. So yeah, on December 21st, this is our opportunity to make a change. This is our opportunity to usher in a government that will take us to the next level. And so as sovereign citizens, the power resides in us. So is the responsibility. That voters card gives us the power to change the government. It also, we bear the responsibility when we do not, and it comes back to bite us. If you remember very well, when this government just came into power and Uncle Khalifa and DOI, especially Uncle Khalifa, were in the coalition, they were working with the government at the time, that was before the fallout. Uncle Khalifa told us something, and it keeps ringing and ringing in my head. Now, one of the things that they did was to do what? To come up with immediate plans to revamp the hospital system, to change what's not working in the system and give us a system and healthcare system that will deliver. And already they had started implementing some of the plans that they had. They had immediate goals that they wanted to meet Right on, they were starting to work on that. They had short-term goals and long-term goals. And so things were beginning to be put in place under the leadership of Uncle Khalifa to change the hospital system. But of course, we know that he was not given the opportunity to continue with what he had planned to get us on as far as healthcare is concerned, and as far as change when it came to the government change in 2016. So somebody like that who understands what our healthcare system needs, somebody like that who understands what it takes to transform the system, that is the kind of person that when it comes December, we want to put in power. Therefore, it is a call, responsibility on our shoulders to ensure that this ineffective government that we have, inefficient government, needs to go. The bad government needs to go. It's been 4 years and nothing has changed. We have gone from the frying pan to the fire. Our women continue to die on their way to give birth. Our hospital system continue to underdeliver. Our people continue to die of unnecessary, untimely deaths. Therefore, we need a change. The economy of the country is in tatters. We need a change. People can no longer afford 3 square meals. Something has to give. If we do not change this government and continue on for the next 4 years with Barrow, we are doomed. We are doomed. Therefore, again, the power is in our hands. We, the sovereign citizens of Gambia, can make that change, can transform our lives, can determine if our women continue to die, can determine if our young people continue to be unemployed, if our young people continue to, have no future. And at this point, I am going to have Musa in the background to play this video of a brother that I saw in Banjul that raised issues that I think we all need to critically look into. So, Mr. If you are there, can you play that video, and then we'll just go over the video and try to, pick the points that this brother and the frustration that he was sharing. Thank you. Yeah, that's the video. So let's listen into this video. Thank you, Musa. So I listened to that video. I saw it on Facebook and I was like, wow, that's a conscious youth right there. I don't know who this brother is. I don't know what his political leaning is, but he speaks to the heart of the problem. He's like, development is about the people. It's not merely about infrastructure. And if this brother is listening, and to every youth out there, I want to bring to your attention that Pdois is very, very much aware of the fact that You cannot talk about development just by merely building infrastructure. By the way, that road in itself is the quality of the road is questionable, because I mean the sewage system, the water system, when it rains, it's about raining now. The next thing you know, the whole city of Banjul will be flooded. And so you have those roads, and it does not address the main problem that people are dealing with, which has to do with water, flooding and crocodiles coming in from, the river and all of that mess. So even besides that, like the brother said in this video, it's more, development is about the people. You want to be able to empower the people. You want to be able to create jobs for the people. You want to be able to ensure that our youths have a purpose. And one more thing that he said in that video that really caught my attention was the issue of the young people going out there and, breaking into people's houses or, assaulting people and trying to steal from them. That it's not like this is something that these people have as a dream or as an aim, or that's what they want to be in life. No, the circumstances is what pushing these young people out there to be doing this mischief that they are doing. Not that I am saying we should condone the stealing and the breaking ins and all this, mishaps that we are seeing. It's not to be condoned, but to address the issue, we would need to address the roots of the problem, which is the lack of employment, the lack of purpose that our young people have. They have nowhere, nothing to hold on to. The future is bleak. So the only thing to survive is to go out there and start stealing and breaking in and doing all this mischief. I've seen that the state guard or whatever, they are putting up measures to address this thing. I mean, well and good, but that's just, you're just trimming the tree, like you're cutting the branches, the leaves. You are not dealing with the root problem. The root problem is to create employment for these young people. The root problem is to create opportunities for our young. That is what will address this situation. And this is a problem that Pdois understands very well. This is an issue that Pdois, if you look at the policies and programs of Pdois, we're talking about youth empowerment. Pdois is very much aware that we need to have skills for our young people, and that's why you don't need to look far. Right there in Banjul with Honorable Siller there in Banjul, the skill center there that he has, that is a clear example of how Pdois, when it comes to power, will be providing job opportunities for all these young people that are sitting out there and having no option other than to go out and break into people's houses. So this is a youth man that understands the issues. And I'm hoping that this video inspired many people, as it did me, to question some of the things that they are trying to sell us. Oh, defar nañ talibi fini, defar nañ jënd nañ ay motorcycle felenele, those kind of things. That's not the solution to our problem. As much as we want good roads, we want opportunities for our young people to elevate us from poverty. And Pdois talks about this so very much. Not only talking about it, we have policies in place to address these issues when we are put in power. And so, to that young man and to every conscious young person who understands the problem that we are facing, the problem that the young people of this country are facing, the responsibility is on us. You have your voter's card. Pdois says you are a sovereign citizen. Pdois says you have the power to change the trajectory. You have the power to change the narrative. You have it in you to put in place somebody that will care enough to provide opportunities for you and for young people like you. So what do? Do not only go out there and get your voter's card. That's the first step. Get your voter's card, but ensure that you mobilize. ensure that you encourage, ensure that you talk to your family members, friends, and well-wishers to all go out there and vote for a party that has the interests of Gambia, and vote for a party that knows the problem and has clear-cut solutions in place to address the problem. And that party is none other than Pdois. Very clearly spells out that Pdois is about the liberty, dignity, and prosperity of our people. We as the people cannot claim that we are free, that we have liberty, if in fact we are still depending on others to survive. We cannot claim as a people that we are free, if in fact we cannot feed ourselves. And Pdois is saying that will be addressed. That is going to be looked into so that we are self-reliant, so that we do not depend on the grants and loans that are coming from outside, but we are able to fend for ourselves, that we are able to provide for ourselves. Pdois is saying there is no dignity in poverty. There is no dignity in poverty. Our people are born in poverty, as Uncle Khalifa will say. They grow up in poverty and they die in poverty unnecessarily. It is unjustifiable that we as a country, with all the rich resources that we have, the sea, the land, I'm not even talking about the minerals in Batakunga that they are mining and nobody knows where that money is going. Nobody is accounting for that money. I'm not even talking about that. Just the land and the sea alone. Pdois says if we put them in power, if we put Pdois in power, the resources will be tapped. Our young people will be put into use so that they have a purpose, so that they know that they count in our nation. They're contributing to the development of the country. Pdois is saying that we will end this useless privatization of our resources, giving people license to go and mine this, our resources, or and fish in our seas, giving license here and there, instead of us as a nation investing in the sea, investing in agriculture, and ensuring that we maximize the good, the profit that comes from these resources. And by doing that, Pdois is saying our young people are going to be employed. Our women are going to have, a better source of living. And so there is no dignity in poverty. Our poverty is not justifiable. We cannot sit there and say, oh, we are poor. There is a better way. We can come out of poverty if we have the right leadership, if we have the right people to take ownership of the country and put in the right policies and programs that will address the core issue of poverty that we are dealing with. Our people are hardworking. Our women are hardworking. Our women should be the richest people in the country if the right policies are put in place. Because they break their back. They work so hard. And so if hard work is to pay, which it should, if you work hard, you should be able to feed yourself. If you work hard, you should be able to come out of poverty. And so it is wrong for our women to work so hard. Our young people to want to work and not find work, to work so hard, and at the end of the day, you cannot even feed your family. Pdois is going to put an end to that. They have proven, they have the policies, they have the programs. We just need to invest time in going to the website and reading some of the programs that are out there and empower yourself with this knowledge so that when you go out there, you are able to share substance with people so that they see and know that we are not just talking, we have it to implement. Pdois has proven that when they come into power, they will address your issue, young man. I don't know what your name is. I don't know what your political leaning is. That I call him the young Banjulian brother. But I want to assure you that there is a party that understands the problem that you are talking about. Now, to buttress that point even further about the thieves, the young people going out there and steal. Again, I'm not condoning stealing, but I'm saying we can do away with that with the right leadership. And so we punish these young people when they go out there and steal, when they go out there and break into people's houses. Are they the worst thieves we have? No. We have bigger thieves in suits. We have bigger thieves in their haftans, in the government, stealing our money. But what happens when they do? We celebrate them. But when that young person goes there and breaks into our houses and takes your TV, we beat them to death. I wish that anger that we have, against these people that go and break into our houses, we have that same holy anger against the thieves in government. The 33 million, we're still talking about it, ain't we? Who's investigating it? Nobody. Who's talking about it? Nobody. Those are the biggest thieves. Can you imagine if such money was taken and put into a skill center like the one Uncle Stiller has in Banjul? You know how many lives that would have empowered at 3 million? Would have empowered a lot of people. But it's gone in thin air, and that's we know of the 33 million. How about the other millions that we don't even know? These are the biggest thieves, and our anger should be towards them and not towards the young people. I get it. Don't get me wrong. That we are frustrated. It's painful when your hard-earned property or somebody comes and takes it. It hurts. And your anger is justifiable, not that beating and torturing people. That's unacceptable. But I understand your frustration. But I'm saying, can we put that frustration into perspective? Can we put it in the right place? That frustration should go towards the people that we are giving our resources to, the people that are supposed to be managing our coffers and taking it and enriching themselves. That's where the frustration should go to. And so a party like Pdois, we all know that Pdois stands, when it comes to integrity, Pdois is number one. It's unquestionable. Morals, you cannot question. And so our problem, especially, I was following Dr. PLO Lumumba. Corruption is the greatest killer in Africa. You talk about wars. Corruption is killing more people than wars are killing people. That's his argument, and I believe very much what he said. So our problem is leadership. If we have the right leadership, come on, look at Uganda, Rwanda. Look at Rwanda. Leadership matters. Who we put in power will determine if we live or die. Will determine if our women continue to ride on donkey carts to the hospital, pregnant or in labor. Who we put in power will determine that. Who we put in power will determine if our young people continue to die on the road, in the seas going to Europe. It will determine that, and that is why I say your vote is a matter of life and death. Your choosing to vote is a responsibility. It's a grave responsibility that we should not take lightly. Pastor John, you're back. Can you hear me?
Yes, I'm hearing you very well. I doubt if you hear me.
Yeah, I can hear you now very clearly.
Oh, that is great. I was hearing you, yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right, so I'm going to have you introduce yourself to our audience. And yeah, you are on mute.
Yeah, hello everyone. I am Pastor John J. Jata. I'm sorry the network have been very bad, but I'm glad to be here with you. And Elizabeth, thank you for having me.
All right, thank you, Pastor John. Pastor John, You are part of the family. You are a Doi member. I know. I see you on Facebook. You are one of the Doi warriors out there defending Doi all the way. So
Yeah.
thank you very much. And I know the sensitization and the education is going on. So when I started with the fact that we have a challenge when it comes to the participation of Christians in politics. We are very
Yeah.
much lacking in that area. The church is
Yeah.
endowed with young people, dynamic, young people who have been prepared very
Mm.
well by the church. Because I know my molding as who I am today has a great deal to do with what the church has impacted in me. But you see, growing up, I was always confined in the four walls of the church. I was not really out in politics or in, civic activities. It was mostly church, home, school, stuff like that. So
Yeah.
when you talk to people about, especially in the church, about, being out there and being involved, I don't know, what's your take on that? What's going on? How can we break that? Because it doesn't help us. It doesn't help the country. It doesn't help the church itself.
Thank you for bringing that up, Elizabeth. And it is quite unfortunate, but as you said it, that is how it is. As Christians and as a church in the Gambia, to be specific, we have isolated ourselves from politics. But it's very, very important to be involved in politics, because politics affect what happened to us in the nation. So the church is in the nation, and the only way we can influence the nation, it has to be in some way by political participation, because some decisions that are politically taken affect us in the church. So we cannot be isolated from politics as a church in Gambia. It's time to wake up and really involve in politics. Um, some people think politics is not decent. I don't think politics is indecent. Politics by itself is a philosophical thinking about how to make the nation better and how to make livelihoods better, how to lift people from poverty, how to create jobs, how to put the nation in order. So we can't shy away from these things. I mean, what will we be doing if we are not involved in things that matters to the nation, in things that make the lives of people better? And I believe that politics is one very fundamental way in which the Gambian church can participate and help the Gambian people. So we can't be out of politics. And this is why it is even in scripture we have seen God use political platforms to push the agenda that he has for his people. A case in sight I can refer to: when the children of Israel were in Egypt, Moses had to be brought up in the royal family for him to be able to speak the royal language and have the royal civilization and have the royal protocol in order to be able to convince Aaron to release the children of Israel. But it has to be in a way that he has to be, brought up in that political domain. And we read about Cyrus. We read about Nehemiah, who also spoke to the king to rebuild the walls. In fact, we go to the New Testament. Before Jesus was buried, they have to make some political consultations for his burial to be possible. So we have no scriptural justification to shy away from politics. So politics is very important.
Thank you,
Jesus says,
brother. I
"Give
like that
to
how
Caesar what belongs to Caesar."
we have no scriptural
Yes,
justification to shy away from politics. I like that.
right.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Whatever the reason is for not being in politics, it has nothing to do with our faith. It is just something, I don't know. It is a lie from the pit of hell, and we should
Yeah,
really, really overcome that and come out of our shells and be involved. And one thing that
right.
I know that the church is good in is mobilizing. I mean, I
Yeah,
remember growing up, we organized our conferences, we organized our outreaches, We know how to organize. We know how to mobilize. And I am
Absolutely.
hoping that young people in the church who buy this Doi message can mobilize, can organize, and go out there and sell the message so that people can join in and not only, vote for the party, but be actively involved in the life of the party as well. So, Pastor John,
Right.
I know you are very much involved. How much of that is going on in your cycle? How much of that do you think is possible? Because we really need to be out there.
Yeah. I mean, one way of making it possible is to engage the young people, is to sell the manifestation, the manifesto of Doi to the young people. And for many reasons, people love Khalifa Sallah as a person, but I don't know how comes people cannot connect to the party itself. For me, it is quite frankly about the ideology of the party. It is about the manifesto of the party being practicalized. I've seen it at play. I have seen Khalifa Saleh take practical steps, to step into things that are wrong and to step into things that are right and even promote them to be better. So I think we already have what we need to sell to the young people. It's now the how of it, the market of it, is to speak the language of the youths, is to meet the youths at their campgrounds, is to meet the youths at their vools, and speak their language that this will sink. Because we need anytime I hear Khalifa Sallah speak, he is talking about poverty. How many people in Gambia are below the poverty line? They are using statistics, they are using numbers, and these are tangible things. So the youth want jobs, the youth want life to be better,
Right.
but they are looking for who can make it for us. And I believe that we already have a resource who is Khalifa, in order to make the ideals of Doi out there in the hands of the youth. So I am saying it is possible. Like you said, in the church, as Christians, I know it is not going to be like a religious issue, but just referring to the issue of mobilizing, referring to the issue of getting people involved. I think that is one thing we have great gifts on, and if we can bring that home to the party and see how we can involve young people, how we can engage young people. In church, when I have a church program, I know how to make flyers. I know how that how to make that flyer meet the youth where they are sitting down and drinking attire.
Right.
So the social media is here. So it's if need be, like the way we share tracks, you understand when I say tracks.
Exactly, yeah.
It's a message, it's a message we are sending out there, and that message is saying that if you implement me, the nation can be better. So why wouldn't I sell that? I would love to sell that. I would love to sell that. I see Doi as a selfless party, and its people and its values is the reason why I stand for what they stand for.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly, Pastor John. And I could not agree with you more that the values of Doi, in fact, that's one thing that we are going to be examining in this program, just how these values are so true in our faith and in just religious belief in general. Because these people are so exemplary. When you talk about, them being people of integrity, that is something that nobody questions. And so I, for one, would think that the church will want to associate with a party that has leaders that are known for, their integrity. That are known for sticking to their words, that are known for being true, selfless human beings, that are known for being servant leaders. I would expect the church to rally behind such a party. And so I think what is lacking is, just like you said, the education bit of it. And I think the church should also take a responsibility. That's what I argue, to to use the power of the pulpit as well to send this message
Yeah.
of prayer, you know, and have our young people understand that politics is part of our life. We cannot separate ourselves from it. So I mean that's very key, and I am glad when I see you out there as a pastor, and I see you as a church leader, and you are out there and fighting for Doi and sending the message of Doi and defending our policies and programs, and I see you on Facebook doing that. I am encouraged, I am motivated, and I'm sure there are a lot of young people out there who look up to you and see you doing that. And that really will help them, I mean, buy the idea or the message of Doi. And so I just played this video not very long ago of this young person in Banjul, whom he just inspired me when I watched his video. Talking about, I don't know if you watched it.
No.
Yeah, so is this young guy in Banjul who they were interviewing and talking about the roads, trying to celebrate. He's like, come on, get out of here with this road issue. Are we going to eat the roads? Like you?
Oh yeah, I watched it.
We have no. You seen it? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I watch him.
That is what Doi is about. It's about creating awareness. It's like we need jobs. We need to get these young people out of the street, stealing and breaking into people's houses. That is what the problem is. That is what you need to solve. And you were here talking about roads. So, I mean, I just want to talk on that a little bit, and then, I mean, we can move on to the next thing.
Yes, Elizabeth, what I like Doi about is their people-centeredness, is their people-orientedness. That's what I like about Doi. Let's build the people. If the people are built up, we have no problem with building roads. We have no problem with building better hospitals. We have no problems with building all this. It breaks my heart these days when everyone you hear about even going for medical treatment, they will say, we have crossed over to Dakar, but why can't we build the people? Why can't we have what we need to build the people in order to let us, I think Gambians, there's a place we missed it, is that we are obsessed with infrastructure. We are obsessed with what we need to see, and in fact, we have not been getting much of that. It's just that even one building is built, like you say, Sinyari at, the far archby. When I look at the arch, come on, that's just a single small building somewhere.
Right.
How have we changed the life of a Gambian? So and how many lives have it changed? So mine is that how the program of Doi is that there's this program of mobilizing people and empowering them. When you mobilize people and empowering them, then they take ownership of the roads, they take ownership of the hospitals, they take ownership of every infrastructural things that come up. So it is true. We can't have roads and people are hungry.
Right.
So the prioritization of development is very important. It's very, very important and that's what I like about Doi. Every time I listen to their leaders speak, it is that bell of priority that I always hear. And I like connecting priority to the last Gambian. I like excuse me. I like prioritizing. I like prioritizing their manifestos to that Gambian guy that thinks jobless, that cannot go to the hospital and have something, quality. So anytime you hear Doi, it is linked to the poor guy. It is linked to that jobless guy. It is linked to that sick person. It is linked to that uneducated person who needs education, who needs to be empowered. So I can't agree with the young man more. It's not roads we are going to eat. The roads are good, but we shouldn't be clapping here and there as if the roads are it. Let us be clapping when people are built up to build the nation.
Exactly.
When people are built up to build the nation, then let's clap for that government. In fact, some of these roads, they just stay for a short time and they go because the people are not built to maintain the roads.
Exactly, and the quality of the road is some other thing that we'll probably talk about another day. Because when the rains come, the water just gets into people's houses and they are flooded and all of that. So some of these things is just you know, just to show that we are doing something, and it's not
Yeah.
really addressing the need at the time. So
Right.
yeah, and so it just reminds me of this video that I watched of Uncle Halifa Saleh, how he emotionally, when I watch that video, it just breaks my heart. He says it's the poverty of our people that keeps us awake
Yeah.
at night. That rings
Yeah.
into my heart. This is a party that understands that the poverty we are experiencing is needless. We do not have to be in this poverty as a country. We
Right.
can come out of it if we have the right policies or the right, leadership in place to address the problem that is causing
Yeah.
all this, poverty that we are experiencing as a people.
Yeah.
And so, Pastor John, I'm going to, I think we are running out of time. We started a little bit late, but I have
Yeah,
another
sure.
video that I want to, Musa to play for us. It's this video of this woman, a mother, that had some good advice, I would say, for the country. So, Musa,
Fantastic.
if you're there, play that video for us, and we will talk around that video too as well. Can you hear the video, Pastor John?
No, I can't hear her. Can you hear her? I can't hear what the lady is saying. Can you hear her, Elizabeth?
No, the sound is not coming. Nobody's hearing the
Yeah,
sound.
right.
Just images. Okay, well, I guess we'll just, if we can't hear the sound, Musa, we'll just stop it.
Yeah.
Okay, so unfortunately we can't hear the sound, but what that woman is saying basically there, I'm not, your most fluent Mandinka speaker, but she's saying,
Okay.
Noma. If we follow these people, meaning the party, Doi, Halifa Saleh, team, then we will come out of poverty. She talks about the fact that Alinga Wakili, that is the word that really caught me. Alinga Wakili. I was asking, what is Wakili? Say Wakili is like try. I said no, that's
let's strive. Let's strive. I mean,
I think it's more than try. Wakili is like let's give it all. Let's really, I don't know the correct
it's to strive. STRIVE. To strive.
To strive. Yeah.
Right.
Let's
keep trying and keep pushing.
Exactly.
It's
So
just like
people
what we
have
say,
this
let us push it
tendency.
until something happens.
Exactly.
Hmm.
So I don't know if you've seen the video before now. Have you seen it before?
Uh, I can't remember. I can't
Okay.
remember seeing the video.
Yeah, but it was during the caravan tour, and Uncle Halifa and team were out there, and she came out of nowhere. She just, came randomly, and she was like, "Aling, aling, and Norma, let's follow these people.
Hmm.
This is not the time for no nene, more nene la sign, like
Yeah.
we cannot
Yeah.
continue fooling people. These people are the
Yeah.
real deal. We gotta follow these people, and if we do, we
Right.
will come out of the mystery that we are in." And she says, "Alinga
Wow.
Wakili." She said, "Until Keba Yatale sign." She's
Mm-hmm.
old, but I mean, funding Keo, Alinga
Mm.
Wakili, Norma. You
Wow.
understand? So
Yes.
that was a real call to me. It's like it was just so touching to hear her. I was like, that is a mother right there speaking from her heart, knowing
Yeah.
what the country needs. It's like she has
Yeah.
been robbed of a good future as a person because the country has not given her the best opportunity that she probably could have had to have a better
Mm-hmm.
life. I am, but she's saying that can change. We can change that. The power is in our hands to change that. And he says, funding
Mm-hmm.
Alingan Wakili. That is like the
Yeah.
word for me. When I had it, I kept listening to her over and over and over again. And every time I hear her,
Mm.
I get emotional, I get inspired, I get, encouraged to really go out there and do my best. And I hope that people will find time to listen to this video and listen to this
Yeah.
and hear the plea of a mother. Like this is a mother crying out for the country to do what is right and put the right people in leadership so that our lives will change for better.
Yeah. I can't agree with the woman more. And in fact, I've seen somebody saying it means let us be determined. Let us be determined.
Right.
Wakili could also mean let us be determined, and that's right. That's absolutely true, Ndei. And there's something I like when you quote the woman saying that we cannot be fooled anymore. Nobody who listened to the people from Doi, like Khalifa, like Sidi Ajata, these great uncles of ours, no one can listen to these people for 1 month and you will be fooled. You cannot be fooled. you know the one thing is that their messages resonates with truth and their messages are clear. We have other factors that are disturbing people with identifying with Doi, but I don't think it's a question of we don't trust them. I don't think it's a question of we don't understand them. I don't think it's a question of we don't think they can. There is something else, and we as Gambians, we need to deal with those things. We need to look at people who stand on our political platform and listen to what they are saying they can do for us, and not what they are as in tribe or as in our village or as in our religion or as in this. Let's listen to people who are giving us solutions to our problems and are telling us if you give us the opportunity, we will drive the nation to this trajectory. And for Doi, I have seen them in the platforms in which they stand, putting it into practice, the things that they will do for the nation. So I can't agree with the woman more. Alnga wakili. It is possible. Nsa kenole.
Amen.
Ninga doy la moy. Ndol fa ngalo ne ko Gambia sola ta minna wolom doyti. Gambia solata dokula minna wolam Halifa Sallati andunga ya yitandi Gambia no la sinya jama ko Gambia la fuaria ya bali sino la le Gambia la l'hôpital man bete anyami waya bali sino la le. We should appreciate that. I like people who will not sleep because of a vision. I don't underrate somebody who will not sleep because of a vision. And Halifa is a tireless man. That man is very passionate for this country.
That's
And I
right.
believe as a nation, we have 2021 as our greatest big shot to give Halifa Saleh a chance and we will see a better Gambia in no distant time.
Very true, very true. And I like the Mandinka rendition there. I used
Yeah.
to be very much more fluent in Mandinka than I am now. I don't know, for some reason, my Mandinka is, I'm getting, it's not as fluent as I used to be. Thank you for
Yeah.
speaking it, for, translating it Mandinka in that way. So,
Yeah.
Pastor John, I think the message is clear. Doi has what it takes to take this country to the next level. I do not see any political party in the Gambia at this point that can compete Doi when it comes to understanding the issues that we are dealing with.
Right.
When it comes to having the right policies and programs in place, ready for implementation when they're given the opportunity. Doi has no match, to be truth, just to tell the truth, man. That is just the reality. So they have proven to us as Gambians that Doi has what it takes to change this country. They have taken us one step in by ushering in a change of regime. Because the change of regime we have, yes, it's a collective effort, but it was led by somebody. It was somebody's brainchild that we all embraced and made happen. So if Doi's leadership has been able to bring us this far into changing the government, changing a regime, the next step is to have a system change. The system change that we need as a country, Doi has the solution for. So it's a clarion call. Let's examine our conscience. Let's ask ourselves the tough questions. Why not Doi? If not Doi, why not? Doi is the party that will help us continue what we started in 2016. And so the responsibility is on us, Pastor John. We have the responsibility to go out there and vote for them. Not only vote for them, we have the responsibility, even before the elections, to sell the message of Doi, to mobilize in our communities, in our church groups, in our small attire corners, and mobilize and sell the message and ensure that people are ready to vote for a government in waiting, and that is Doi.
Absolutely, that is absolutely right, Elizabeth. I just don't know how to put this across, but I wish Gambians rally behind Doi and give Doi a chance to lead this country. We just have to give it a shot. This party have proved to us in so many ways, and in there are, like, I can't even imagine, like, the impasse, how Doi have carried this whole messed up trajectory and stabilize it, and the whole nation rallied behind Halifa Sallah because it was a time of crisis. And I don't know why we think, when we don't have good facilities in our hospitals, that is not a crisis. Why we don't have quality education, why we think that is not a crisis. Why rice is so expensive, I don't know why we think that is not a crisis. This man have taken us out of several crises. Doi have taken us out of several crises. They have taken the lead to stand and see that the country is stabilized, is set on the right footing, and I can't imagine what will happen when we entrust them with the key of driving this nation. 2021 is our opportunity. This December is our opportunity. And I believe in Gambians. We can make it, and we will definitely make it. We just need to, keep striving, like the woman saying, continue wakili dorong, and see that, yeah, this is right. Done. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's one thing to just, talk the talk. It's another thing to talk the talk and walk the walk. Doi has been walking the walk from the onset. I saw Musa right here. We have Nyako school. These are some of the things that Doi, even though it's not a government, it's a political party with very limited resources. they do not have the coffers of the country at their disposal to implement projects for us. But even with the limited resources as a political party, we have seen how much already they have invested in the country. In the education, like Lisa is saying here in the messages, Nyakoi Elementary School, you go to Banjul, that skill center there, and I think there's a skill center in Talending. That's all Pdois handwork. All these other women couples that they empower and help, do their own little, businesses, whether it's soap making or, tie-dye and all of that. So Doi, even though not in power, has already, the other day, I don't know if you remember Uncle Khalifa in Parliament telling the Minister of Health, I think it was the Minister of Health then, Asitu Ture, that the hospital in Serekunda, the labor ward, is in shambles. It's a shame that our women go into such a ward to deliver. He said, look, I took it upon myself to have them give an estimate of how much it's going to cost to at least renovate that labor ward and make it decent enough for our women to be able to go there and deliver in a dignified way.
A dignified place, yeah.
Yes. So he said, I took it upon myself to do that. And the next thing I know, they stopped him from having to implement that project for political reasons, because they are of the opinion that once he does that, he's going to have all the political support. So you see, even though this man was just doing something out of the good of his heart, without any political thoughts to it, it was not publicized. It was not like, bring the news media, this is what I'm planning to do, or this is what he was just doing this thing in his, quiet corner. The government of the day thinks he is stealing the spotlight, and because of that, they deny our women the opportunity to have a decent place to go in and deliver. You see how selfish such a government is? You see how unthoughtful and how they do not really care about our welfare? Because if they did, they would have just allowed that to happen, because at the end of the day, what matters is that the place is fixed for our women to go and have, to have a decent place. So, the point I'm trying to make here is, Doi is not in power, not yet in power, but looking back from inception, how much they have contributed. Now we see all these big political parties, riding their Hummer jeeps, having all these vehicles at their disposal. Doi is not all about that. Doi would rather take the little money they have as a political party and invest it back in the people. Put it in skill centers like the one you have in Banjo. Put it in skill centers like the one you have in Talending. Put it in the Serkunda maternity ward for our women to be able to have a place. And they do not ask them, they do not ask you to support them because of that. It's not for political reasons that they are doing all of this. So if you can find a political party that is not yet in power, being able to do all of that at that point, can you imagine what will happen if they have the nation's coffers at their disposal? We saw Uncle Khalifa Saleh in that hospital, I think 2 weeks ago, where he had this eye surgery. Uncle Khalifa can afford to pay Uncle Khalifa Saleh's medical fees to come to the US or go to the UK and have all that thing. But he decides to say, look, I am going to use the same hospital healthcare facilities that ordinary Gambians are using. And that says a lot. That says that if this person is given the opportunity, the same hospital that he takes himself to get care from, he takes his family to take care from, he cares enough to make that, make it good for every Gambian.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So Pastor John, I think time is betraying us. I would like to end the program here. We will be back next week, Sunday, just to hear what your last words are. Can you just, like a word of encouragement to your fellow pastors, the church leaders, young people, you know, what can we do as a people who have the responsibility to change the trajectory of our country come December 4th? What is your encouragement? What can we do to make that happen? To put in a government, Doi government, to bring about the change that we deserve as a people.
Thank you very much, Elizabeth. Like I said, no matter what plans we have for this nation as Christians, we may have very beautiful plans for the Gambia. Those plans can only be implemented on political wheels, and therefore, we cannot isolate ourselves from politics. We need to get the right people in place in order for us to be able to serve our people. So I personally, I am calling on all Gambians to open their ears more and listen to what Doi is saying and understand what Doi is saying and judge by the past recent histories of the interventions that Doi have taken for this nation, and know that if we give Doi the keys to this country to drive the affairs of this nation, they will head us to the right direction. I think it will be the greatest decision we would ever made into 2021. Halifa Sallah and Sidia Jata and Silla and the rest of Doi in the places in which they are serving as members of parliament, they are proven that they can drive this nation towards the right direction. So I am calling on all people, let's rally behind Halifa. 2021 is our chance and we can make it. I am very optimistic about that. Thank you, Elizabeth.
Thank you very much, Pastor John. It's great having you. I know we had challenges initially, but I'm glad you were able to come back. And I'm sure everybody who's had you must have gotten something from the conversations that we're sharing here. And so I am hopeful that we will have you again. There's a program tomorrow. Sophie has a program. It's going to be in Mandinka with one of the councillors. And we will be coming in hopefully like every day, most likely to somebody will be on the Doi platform to talk about the issues here and send the message of Doi, try to win hearts, and hopefully that will translate to a victory for Doi on December 4th. Again, it's a pleasure having you, Pastor John. Thank you very much to our audience. I am very grateful for the time that you've taken to listen to this message. Let's continue to push the message of Doi out there. Let's continue to encourage our family members and loved ones. Let's mobilize, let's organize, and push the agenda so that people will hear more about Doi and come December 4th, give us that vote that we need to put the right people in power so that we can have a break for once as a people, as a country, and get into the right track when it comes to development and the way forward for our beloved Gambia. Alinga Wakili, that's the motherly advice we got from that woman in Brikama. Alinga Wakili, let's Wakili and do the right thing. And hopefully by December, we will be saying we Doi by God's grace.
Yes, hopefully.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Pastor John.
My pleasure. See you next week.
Thank you, sir. Bye.
Bye-bye.